Hey guys, welcome back to Lap 1 News, and today we're going to be reporting on the Marrakesh E-Prix. That's Formula E if you didn't already know. So, Costa started on pole with Maxi Gunter and Andre Lotterer just behind. The lights went out and Costa had a much better start than Gunter. Gunter got a bit of wheel spin and Costa was just straight into the lead, and he got out a gap and there wasn't a lot more to it. The opening lap was clean from everybody, so it was good to see, because nobody likes to see big crashes, smashes, shunts. It just makes the championship look a little bit less serious, a bit like people can a lot of people compare it to bumper cars. It's not like bumper cars, and this was a good race to show them that. On the opening laps, James Collado went for a good move around the outside of Jev into one of the corners, and that was really impressive for me. And after that he kind of dropped back a bit. He didn't make as much progress as you would expect. But during this time, Costa and Gunter had sailed out a bit of a lead, with De Vries in third behind being a bit of a bottleneck. So just holding the people behind him back a bit. Jev overtakes, he dives down the inside of James Collado into turn 1 just to get that position back, and that is not the last time we see Jev in this race. Definitely not. But before we get on to that, I must mention that De Vries got a drive-through penalty for overpower during regeneration. So, that does what it says on the tin, really, doesn't it? He just had too much power whilst he was regenerating. That dropped him back all the way to the back of the grid. After this, Jean-Eric Verne just slowly starts making his way up through the order, and he at one point gets all the way up into the second, but I will get to that in a minute. And at the same time, there's Evans just doing his job, overtaking people here, overtaking people there. We didn't really see much of that because we were too focused on Jev, Costa and Gunter. But it was a really good drive because he missed out on quali because his lap was... he just did too many, or he didn't make the timing beam in time. A bit like we saw in F1 in Italy in Q3. We just didn't, they didn't have time to set a time because they'd crossed the line after the checkered flag was raised. So he had to start all the way from the back of the grid, and he was just throughout this race impressively making his way up through the order. Jerome D'Ambrosio dived down the inside of Collado. There was a lot of contact, and that was really the only bit of bumper cars that you saw during the race. It was just down the inside of turn 1. It's tight, it narrows it up, but there was contact and Collado was forced out wide. But during this, wise old fox that Lucas de Grassi is, just sees the opportunity and overtakes them both. So he gains 2 positions from them fighting, which was impressive for him to be able to do that, to think about it. It shows how experienced he is at this level. So that was good. And then we get halfway through the race and Costa decides that he is bored. Not really, but he just decides that, he explained afterwards that it was because he knew Gunter had more energy than he did, so he wanted to make him use it so that they were on a level playing field, which is really clever thinking from Costa there. You don't... I don't know if a lot of drivers think like that, but it was genius. And if it was the strategy guys on the pit wall that came up with it, well, fair play to them. They deserve a round of applause. They really do for that one. So Costa lets Gunter overtake him, and then that allows... I mean, Costa all this time is just staying, like, just behind, but it does make Gunter use up more of his energy. So then Costa has a big enough gap. He takes attack mode, closes in on Gunter, and re-overtakes him for the lead of the race. And that is effectively the last we see of him, because he just sails away to the victory. So, yeah. And then, just behind him, his teammate, Jean-Eric Vergne, passes Gunter for second, but he does not have enough energy to keep it, and on the last lap, Gunter makes the overtake to get into second. So, Costa won the race with Gunter in second and Jev in third. Evans did a great drive from the back of the grid, last, to P6. Excellent drive. And Sam Bird gets the last point in the top 10. So, in terms of the championship, what that means for the championship, Costa leads Evans by 11 points. That was a big drive for Evans, a really big drive, and if he keeps that up, even when he has a bad day, he's getting good points. He's definitely a contender for the championship. I think it's very possible for him to be able to do it. And then just behind him is Sims, who is 10 points behind Evans. So there's already 21 points between Costa and Sims in third. So, yeah. So in terms of the team's championship, Techeetah lead BMW by 8 points, but the gap to the rest of the teams is massive. I don't see a team other than Techeetah or BMW at this rate catching up and beating them, which is going to be a big shame. But good for those two teams. So, yeah. That was my race report. It was a good race, an exciting race, and for the most part a clean race, which is exactly what you want to see from Formula E. That's why I love it so much. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you want to catch the next video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you didn't like the video, make sure to tell me why in the comments so I can keep on improving. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been John Whittaker from Lap 1 News, and I'm out. See you next time.